day. And I was like, I feel a bit car sick. So I was like, probably not going to stay at my phone for like half an hour while I try and put together a new Ashtanga playlist. So Ashtanga, but not as you know it. I think there's Ashtanga Remixed, Saturday Ashtanga. There's like a few different playlists that you can pick from. It doesn't really matter because they all are not similar, but they will all follow a pattern of like, okay, we're up regulating, we're down regulating. The one thing I'm going to say now, and I know because we've got someone that's here for the first time today that is trying out this, but I'll say it for all of us as to remember, is the great thing about Ashtanga is that it is a set sequence. I didn't make it up, but what it means is that the practice is slow, as in, that doesn't mean it's easy. It just means that the practice is to your pace and is to a pace that is actually like reasonable. We will not be like steamrolling through it. We will take our time to breathe in shapes to get it right for your body. Yeah, so I think that's something to remember as well. And another thing that I will try not to do this morning because there can be lots of information overload when you're in a pose, but I will give tips, alignment cues and things for you to do and see how that helps your practice as you move. And just bear in mind that, yeah, this is like, this is meant to be a purification practice as well. Yes, Ashtanga is used for the purification of the body, the mind, the soul, to come to meditation, to start your day, to move forwards with a feeling of being cleansed, uplifted, free, stagnation to have left the body, full awareness as well of the body. So bear that in mind as you move. This is not a practice of punishment or of trying to like push harder, do more, like it never is, but particularly from this sense. You may have seen pictures of people tied in pretzels and doing different crazy shapes with their body. That's not where we're going with this. That's for those people who want to do that. We're going to move, we're going to feel good. We're going to come out the other side pure, enlightened souls, ready for whatever the day will throw at us, okay? So playlist at the ready, whatever you're picking. I'm going to go for Ashtanga Remix Summer. Why not? Because I think it's summer. Who knows? We'll start them together in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. If you're not listening to a playlist, it's all good. We're actually just going to start standing at the top of our mat, top of practice space. Okay. So come to the top of your mat. Get your feet to align underneath your hips. Those of you who swung with me last night as well, I'm going to try and keep this space open today. You can have your mind and your psoas if you want your concentration, your energy into opening up front of body. Soften the knees, let the feet spread, toes to the earth, palms face forward. Okay, take your eye gaze in front of you at a drishti, at a focus point. Yeah, something that isn't going to move. This is going to be where you come back to. We come to any balancing poses, standing poses where you start to feel a bit wobbly, where you start to feel a bit like you can't quite find steadiness. This is what you come back to. Okay, take a few more breaths. And let yourself feel into the inhalation. The exhalation. Another inhalation. Slow the breathing down. We're going to move through sun salutations to begin with. As you inhale, reach the hands up above the head, let the palms come to touch. Exhale, we're going to fold, hinging from the hips. So push the bum back, let the crease of the body happen in the hip placement or hip area. Hands towards the floor. Hands can be on blocks if that's better for you. Hands to the shins, halfway lift, shoulders back, lengthen spine. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Step back, plank. Take an inhale as you bring the shoulders directly on top of the wrists or slightly forwards. Exhale, move to the ground, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, peel the body up and away from the floor, shoulders move down and back away from ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. And that back bend can be as big or as small as you want it to be. You can come into Sphinx or Seal instead, so forearms and elbows can go down. Press the chest back towards the thighs and just pedal out the heels. First down dog of practice is always pretty delicious. So take your time to do the things you need to do to make this feel even more exquisite for your body. Hold in your mind and your heart that idea of purification practice, cleansing practice, invigorating practice. Pop up onto your toes, plod your feet to your hands. Arrive at the top of the mat, feet underneath hips. Inhale, halfway lift here, lengthen the spine. Crown of head draws forward. Exhale, forward fold. hinging from your hips. Inhale, sweep the arms high and wide, palms connect over the head. And then as you exhale, fold, hinge all the way back down. Halfway, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank. Take a breath in. Chaturanga. You guys know what a sun salutation is. You guys know how to move your body in this way. So after this one, I'm just going to let us just have some time to move through it at our own pace. 3 traditional sun salutes. Yeah, I'm going at one pace, but you want to speed up, slow down, somewhere in the middle. Okay. And you can take a few breaths in your down dog. You don't have to be there for the full 5 breaths. Yeah, that's the joy of making a remix of Ashtanga. Yeah, when you're at the top of the mat, remember your halfway lift, remember your fold, and then the arms come high. Yeah, so just start to move in your own way, own patterning. The joy of remixing Ashtanga is that I make my own rules. You make your own rules. Yeah, it is, in a historical sense, a strict practice that is to be adhered to exactly as prescribed for every body. Only really taking into account severe injury. Yeah. And actually, apart from that, I'm kind of expected to move towards, or at least try some of the shapes without really alternatives being given. Yeah. And, it just doesn't feel that great to press the body into shapes that it's not really ready for. Okay, as you come to finish your 3rd round, you're going to do 5 in total. Yeah, 5 in total. Let's get the body open. So whatever you need to do now for the last 2, to connect to your breath. Yeah, so each movement is on an inhale or an exhale. So really notice that. Whatever you need to do to get the body awake, alive. Maybe it's a jump back. You don't have to, but maybe it is. Let the body breathe its way into each shape. When you come towards your final sun salute, yeah, final moment of movement in this sense. We will come to more movement later, especially when we come to the seated practice. We will add in a bit more body movement, a bit more heat. Right now, though, I just want us to find the availability in the body, what it looks like to be hopping backwards, forwards, to be moving through this way. Yeah. When you come to the top of the mat the next time, or the last time, rather, finish your full round and you can end up standing in your Tadasana. There's no rush to get there. And just standing, pausing. Your hands can be in prayer, or your hands can be by your side, knees soft. Lengthen, big belly breaths. Nice, everyone. Okay. We'll start to move into some more of the active stretching now, the poses that allow us to actually lengthen and we're actively engaged in them. Nothing passive about any part of the body. So as you inhale, take your hands to your hips. Make sure your feet are underneath your hips, so they're at least 2 fist distance apart. As you exhale, your hips are going to push back. You're going to fold. As you fold, fold, fold. Get as deep as you can into the forward fold. Where your fingers are on your hip bone, imagine trying to tip your hips towards the sky. So you're pressing the fingers in the front of the hip bone in. You know, like you're pulling your thumbs down. Okay, to try and get the bum to push up towards the sky. Then release the hands. You're going to hook the peace fingers either around your big toes, option around the backs of the legs. Yeah, ankles, calves, whatever feels good. Just spread those toes wide, let the weight move into the whole of the foot, the whole of the sole. Bend the elbows, crown of head is moving towards the earth. Now, how much breath can you fit in your body in this position? Pressure against the thighs, the abdomen, as it expands. Keep folding. One more deep breath in. Stay with it. One more exhale. You're actually going to stay in your forward fold. We're just going to release our fingers or our hands, look up halfway, lengthen. And then from here, either pick up the front of your feet, so pick the front of the feet up, and then pop the hands under the sole, so palms underneath the sole of the foot. That could be an option. That feels okay. Toes all the way to the crease of the wrist. Again, head dangles, so try not to be looking forwards and putting pressure on the neck. And if the hands don't slide all the way underneath the feet, don't worry about it. Hold on to somewhere else, maybe slightly lower down now. And I'm actually going to suggest that we do start to take a little butt wiggle here, just a little one. Just a sway of the hips side to side to just start to move the fascia whilst it's on stretch. Make it a little bit more dynamic, a bit more active. And you're slowly releasing the hands to hips. Take a breath, unravel the spine, come all the way up. Whew. Hello, back body. Bring the feet together. Soles of the feet touch. Spread the fingers, I'm looking right down at them, their toes. Spread the toes wide. Don't worry about spreading the fingers wide. Toes spread wide. Okay, palms face forwards. 2 rounds of Surya Namaskar B. Okay, just 2. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold forwards, hinging from hips, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step, walk or hop back. If you're ready to hop back, you can. Move through your chaturanga into your back bend. So open up the front body. Remember, elbows, forearms can come down. Squeeze the bum, push the toes down. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Moving up and back into the sky. And then right leg's coming all the way into the air. Big breath. Step the right foot to the inside of the right thumb. Back heel turns in and down. Hips are square to the front. Inhale, drive really tall with the arms. Warrior 1. Okay, so pull this left hip forwards and down. Bend your right knee. Left hip forwards and down. Right knee. Press the back foot into the floor. Press it down really hard into the back floor so that back leg really starts to activate. Then bend your right knee. Back foot, front knee. And release the hands down. Plank, chaturanga. Bring in a bit more heat into the body. Just a little bit. I know I said we were done with the sun salutations, but you know me. I'm like, actually, we're not quite done. Left leg. Bring it through. Left foot to inside of thumb. Bring right heel in and down. Right hip rolls in and down. Reach the hands as high to the sky as you can. Bend the left knee. Activate back foot. Left knee. Press back foot. Keep shoulders and hips square to the front edge of your mat, okay? So you're forwards, not to the side, not one hip flying back, one shoulder moving forwards, trying to keep everything in line with one another. Release the hands down, plank, chaturanga. Moving through. Downward dog. I'm actually gonna do 1 round here. Might sprinkle a few more in. Do you love that? I'm just like, yeah, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. What I love about remixing Ashtanga though, the format's there, just making it our own. Bend the knees, step, walk, hop to the top. Big toes touch. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. Inhale, sink the hips back, reach the arms high. Stand tall. Hands in prayer by your side. Left foot stays where it is. Right foot's going to step back. Turn the right toes to the long edge of the mat. Straighten both legs. Left toes are still pointing straight ahead. Yeah, right toes are pointing to the long edge. Straighten the legs. Inhale, reach forwards and back. Left hand's coming forwards. Left hand to the inside of the calf. Grab a block here if that feels good. Yeah, now try and think about rolling this right hip forwards and down a bit. Okay, so you've got this a bit more of a closed back hip, and then the rotation from Trikonasana happens from the chest, the center line of the body. That's when you reach, turn the body. The hips stay solid and strong. Yeah, we stay really stable then. This right hip's rolling down and in, and you'll feel it on the hamstring a lot more. Okay, reach the right hand to the sky. Length, 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 length. Keep breathing. Nice, everyone. Push that back foot into the ground. Push your hand into the block, or if your hand's kind of in space, lengthen away from the hand. Yeah, try and get really tall. Spread your toes. Try not to grip the mat with the toes. Try rather than gripping to press down. Inhale, come up all the way to the top. Turn left toes in. Right toes to the back. Same, but different. Different way for us to get into the pose is actually to turn the body. So now turn so you're facing the back of your mat. You can fold over your right leg. Use a block still if you're going to use it on the inside. Keep your hips the same. And then with this left arm, left hand drops towards the floor. Just from the chest, turn the upper body open into Trikonasana. Feel the difference there. Yeah, that keeps the left hip glued in space as well. You might find your back toes, so your left toes now have to turn in a little bit more. That's all good. Find that pelvis positioning so that you can feel really stable, really solid. And deep breath. Another inhale here. Another exhale. Come up to the top. Take your hands to your hips. Turn to face the long edge of your mat. Toes in, heels out. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, push the bum back. As you push the bum back, you're going to fold, 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 fold. Let your hands come to the floor. Let your fingertips walk in line with the tips of your toes. Hug your elbows in towards each other. Fold. Breathe. Lengthen the back of the body. Breathe a little deeper. Find your deeper fold. Can you, without gripping the fingertips down, can you press the hands into the mat in an angle that allows you to pull deeper into this fold? Inhale, look up halfway. Walk all the way around, framing the left foot to the top of the mat. Turn, step feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold all the way back down. Hinge from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, step, walk or hop back through your flow. Moving through your vinyasa. Slow it way down. If you want slow or if you want steady, yeah, go for that. You do not have to be jumping back. You might choose it, but you don't have to be. Right leg to the sky, big breath in. Step the right foot to the inside of the right thumb. Warrior one again. We're turning the left heel in and down. We're rising all the way up. Push the back heel down, back foot down. Right knee goes forwards. Back foot, right knee. Bring the hands down, frame the foot, step through your flow. Chaturanga. Left leg, when you're in your down dog, to the sky. Step it to the inside of the left thumb. Turn the back heel in and down. Find the space for the hips. Right hip in and down. Back foot active, left knee bends. Back foot presses, left knee bends. Another breath. Hands to the earth, chaturanga. Back bend. Down dog. From down dog, take a little pedal out through the heels. Step, walk, or jump, hop your feet through the top of the mat. Whatever feels good. Take a breath in. Halfway lift. Exhale, fully forward fold. Soften the knees. Chair Utkatasana. Nice. Hands in prayer. Hands to heart center. Okay, we're going to take some rotation for the spine now. So when we rotate the spine, let's really think about lengthening first. Yeah. And then turning the body, so length and then rotation. Make sure you have a block at the top of your mat, a block at the back of your mat. We're going to start by stepping left foot all the way back, right leg to the front. Bend into it, taking your lunge. Reach your hands to the sky. Back foot is active. You're like trying to push the back heel, the left heel away. Right knee though is trying to sneak forwards. Yeah, the lower you go, the more in the pose you're going to be. Definitely the more sensation you're going to feel. Hands in prayer. Hands to heart center, shift forwards. As you shift forwards, rotate to the right. Hook the elbow. Option, lower the back knee first for all of this. Okay, find the rotation. As you find the rotation, keep the length and integrity in the spine. Crown of head is going forwards, tailbone back and down. Press elbow, lengthen. Release the hands. Take the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Back foot stays the same, so you're still in your lunge. You've released the twist a little bit, you've released the pressure. We're gonna hop the left foot in, place the left heel to the floor, straighten both legs, revolve Trikonasana. So we just stay in the twist at the same time. The body recognizes the pose because we have been rotating. Now we're just gonna ask it to do it slightly differently. Hand can come to the sacrum, flat bony part of lower back to begin with. Turn the chest, turn the chest. Wriggle the feet towards the edges of the mat, left and right, for a bit more space. Okay, pushing hips back. Right hand comes to the sky only if and when the body's like, yeah, this is gonna add something, rather than take something away. And when I say add something, I don't mean like pain in the neck. It might add some pain in the neck, so we're gonna bring the hand to wherever we need to. Push right big toe down. Right big toe down. Soften the right knee. Rise up. Come out of the twist, look forwards, release the hands. Turn on the feet, let's face the back of the mat. So turn, turn, turn. We're gonna need to re-step the feet, reshuffle, rejig, especially if you're on carpet. This literally is a magic carpet, this yoga mat. It's like traveling around the room every time I practice. Left knee forwards. Okay, back knee elevated, hips square, steady. Right, reach the hands to the sky when you're ready. Active. Breathe deep. Hands in prayer at heart center. Lean forwards, hook your right elbow around your left thigh. Remember, the back knee can come down and kiss the floor for a moment if you need it. If it needs to stay like that, that's fine. But I want you to play around with lifting and lowering the back knee, especially if you feel like, oh, I can't lift my knee. Have a go at lifting it. Have a go at just like bringing your body into a space that it may have gotten so used to not going, that it's just convinced itself it never will. Yeah, twisting, lifting. You may find that hooking the elbow doesn't work. The hand needs to be on the floor. That's okay as well, on the inside of your foot. Stay in your twist. Lengthen spine, crown of head moves forward, tailbone moves back. I'm going to bring my hand to a block on the inside of my left foot and step my right foot in. And then I'm going to figure out and shuffle my feet. Left foot's going all the way over to the left. Right foot's pretty much over to the right. I'm going to turn and twist, revolved triangle. Engage your back leg. Hand to sacrum. Breathe. And slowly releasing the hands down. You're going to walk to the long edge of the mat. Take your time. Pose, turn in. Heels are out. You're already in your wide leg forward, so we're just going to stay there. Hook peace fingers around big toes, hands around ankles or cuffs. Bend the elbows, fold. Let's go. Let's see how far the body will go into this forward fold now. Yeah, move the hips gently. Yeah, get your body to just wriggle, shuffle, reset itself so it can move in a way that feels good, easy, open. Soften the belly, connect back to your breath if you've lost that breath connection because so much is going on. The body might feel like just a little bit deprived of its oxygen needs. So bring it back into breath. Release the hands, walk forwards, walk all the way around. Frame the front foot, the right foot, step left to right, big toes touch, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, turn the toes out, heels in. Pop up onto the balls of the feet, onto the toes. I want you to place your hands flat to the floor. Knees are coming all the way up into your armpits. You can have a little go at shuffling yourself forwards to find Bakasana crow pose, okay? So hands down, toes up, knees right into armpits, shifting your body forward. Grip the floor with your hands, find that grip, and then heels to bum. Yeah, balances, arm balances, inversions are a time where, yes, you grip the floor, yeah, with your hands, where you start to activate all of the muscles in your palms. Yes, nice. So thinking that this is like a no-go, you can sit in squats. And breathe. Nice. Been a while since we've woken our bodies up with Ashtanga. Yeah, usually around this time on a Thursday, we're just about starting to get up, to stand up. So our bodies are probably like, what? This is like intense. Okay, just move back through a flow. So just a vinyasa, so not all the way through. We're not going into like warrior one or anything like that. Step it back, hop it back, move it back. And then we're going to come to, we are going to come to jump through and sit onto our bums. You can practice your jump throughs if you want, guys. I won't this morning because the 9 hours in the car yesterday, I think my back might actually scream at me. 2 blocks, and you can use them to jump through and sit the bum down onto the earth, okay? And if you are going to use the blocks, just keep them at the top of the mat. Straighten out the legs. Another hamstring release. Take a breath in, lengthen the spine, reach the hands high. As you exhale, hinge forwards. We're going to hook peace fingers around our big toes. Take a long breath in, lengthen spine. Exhale, fold, bend the elbows. Pull your body towards your legs. Bigger breath. More movement. Release the toes. Unravel the spine. Lean to the right. Bend your left knee and take your heel next to your bum. Okay, so staying here for a second pose. If this feels too much on the knee, on the ankle, put blocks underneath your bum, lift your hips. If your hips come up higher, they won't be dropped below, the hip bones won't be dropped below the knee, which will relieve some of the pressure. Think about it like a pressure gauge. You're just going to turn it a little bit. It's going to release some of that steam, some of that buildup, some of that excess, and then you're going to have a bit more space. It's going to make things a little bit more accessible and feel, I was about to say easy. I hate using that word in any form of physical exercise because it's all relative, what's easy, but it'll make it a little simpler for your body to understand what you're doing. Reach the hands to the sky, take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold, forwards, hinge. Maybe you catch your foot, maybe your ankle, maybe your calf, or hey, maybe you want, like me, I always want this, is my hands to be on the floor to feel steady, okay? So I can just do my little thing. I can maybe take a little bit of movement side to side, yeah, but my action is to flex the foot, yeah, flex the toes, because a lot of the time, if we're not reaching the toes, whether that's out of choice or necessity for our bodies, the foot tends to just kind of relax, which means there's absolutely no activation happening in this leg, and it actually takes away the sensation in the back of the leg too. So pull the toes up and fold. Slowly unravel the spine, come all the way up. Lean across to the right, extend the left leg, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Lean to the left, bend the right knee. Heel comes next to the bum. And again, if you need to sit up on stuff, then do. You might need to on one side, by the way, and not need to on the other side. Obviously, if the knee doesn't bend this way at all and you're like, this is horrible, then take the sole of your foot to the inside of your thigh instead. You can take Janu Sirsasana instead of coming into this shape. Okay, reach the hands to the sky. Put a little happy dance on my head then that I managed to say the name of that pose without like stumbling over my words, because usually I'm like, oh God, I've got to say it. I've got to say it. Okay, bring the hands down, round the foot, activate the left foot fold. Think about the top of your head moving forwards rather than thinking forehead to knee. Yeah, so crown of head is going out in front, not forehead to knee. Nice work, guys. Keep breathing and lengthening just a little more. Yeah. Where you can feel sensation now, take your mind into that place and just imagine that your breath is actually in that space, expanding it, softening it, and then letting it relax. This hamstring, just really let the mind be in that space. Come all the way up, lean to the left, extend the right leg, let the blood flow come back through for a moment. Cross ankles over, roll over the feet or step back, hop back, walk back, however you want to go. Move through vinyasa. Down dog. Pedal out the heels, stay in down dog. Be in down dog for a moment. Yeah, take a moment to breathe. We are going to walk our hands to the back of the mat when we're all here together. Okay, so if you need to take any straps or any blocks or anything with you, then do. Walk your hands all the way to the back of the mat to your feet. Come into your forward fold and then soften your knees. Unravel the spine. Now that drishti has become a little further away, but hopefully you can still see it. Or if like me, you're in desperate need of your glasses pretty much all the time at the moment, then maybe you can't quite focus on it, but you know it's there. It's basically something that isn't going to move as we come into balance. So we're going to shift the weight into our left foot to begin with this morning. The left foot shift, right knee is coming up, peace fingers, strap. She says strap, then she did a turn. She found it's in the corner of the room. Of course it's in the corner of the room where it's extremely useful. If you're using a strap, round sole of foot. Doesn't have to be an actual yoga strap. Yeah, it could be maybe a jumper, scarf. I always say scarf, and I think it's the middle of summer. Who's got their scarf out? Not me. Well, I don't know. Almost the other day. Pick the leg up, let the leg extend out in front of you. Try not to let the heel wave out to the side at all. The heel is coming straight forwards and ahead. Flex the foot, pull the toes towards you, lift the foot higher. Left hand to hip, press down through sole of left foot. Breathe. Maybe left hand comes out to the side. If you're lucky enough like me, there's a wall there. Hallelujah. If not, then don't worry. Let the arm be in space. Yeah, take a breather. Look forwards. The way that you can intensify this pose without pulling that leg up any higher is to pull your shoulders back. Draw your shoulders back, particularly that right one where the strap's in the right hand or the foot's in the right hand. Slowly lower. Let the foot come straight back down. Spread right toes. Same pose but different. Same pose but on the left side. Yeah, it will be different. So I have to keep doing that to my mat because I can't stand the unevenness of it all. Keep looking down at it like, oh, it's still on an angle. Okay, we're going to shift the weight to the right foot. We're going to look forward. Remember, knees coming up, knee bends, and then leg extends, and the heel is out straight in front of us. Push into your right leg. So take any excess bend out. So if like me, you end up sinking like this. Yeah, straighten, lengthen, press, shoulders back. It doesn't have to lift up high, that left foot. Yeah, shoulders back and lengthen. Slowly. Release down. Feet underneath, hips. We can go out to the side next with the foot. Actually, before we do that, let's do tree pose so we get the idea of external rotation into our body. So left foot right foot grounds, left foot's coming up, the calf, or above the knee thigh. Yeah, you get to choose. If you're one of those people that loves the one where you put your foot into the crease of your hip, you need to use your other hand. So you need to use, if you're doing the left foot with me, you need to cradle the top of your left foot with your right hand, okay? This is for those of you that have a lot of knee mobility. You might find this is good. Yeah, as long as there's no pain, feels pretty all right for me and my body just about, but there's probably a limitation to that. I can't really fold forwards without there being pain. So you can stay upright and do this, or you can keep the foot to thigh or to calf. Hands in prayer at heart center. Unless you're holding that foot there, you can have one hand to heart center though. If you've got your foot into the crease of the hip, you might want to fold and take both hands to the floor. If you've got both your hands at heart center, you might want to lift. Take the arms wide. Ooh, find some balance. Yeah, focus on a drishti. If you're forward folded, slowly take a breath, unravel your fold, come up. And if you're up high, hands back to heart center. Release the left foot to the ground. Okay, and switch sides. Same thing, other side. Take a moment if you need to. Otherwise, straight in, balance on the left foot, sole of foot to calf, thigh or up high into the crease. Sometimes it's a little easier to find the sticking spot on one side than it is the other for the leg. Breathe. Find your focus point, push down into the sole of your left foot. So your left hip comes back into the center a bit more so that you're not leaning and pushing over to the left. Press down to rise up and also to recenter the body. Breathe. Okay, if you're folding forwards, you're going to go for it now. If you haven't already, take a little hinge from your hips, fold. Those of you with the foot in the crease of the hip. Nice. And then on your next inhale, you're going to rise it back up. I didn't actually guide us to bring the hands up and wide, but maybe you already did that yourself, and if not, you can do that. My mind was in trying not to fall over for a moment then. I was thinking, why am I so wobbly on this left leg? Bring the hands back through to our center. I know why. Down by your side, release the right foot. 9 hours in the car will make you feel pretty unsteady, like you're just continuously rumbling forwards. Okay, so we're going to move into standing, opening up the side. So I know usually this goes into more of a pattern. So we usually have the foot up and then we move it and then we move it. Okay, but it's also nice to break things up sometimes. So we have a little bit more awareness. So we're going to take the same thing as we just did, either with the strap or without the strap. Bend the left knee towards the chest. Peace fingers around big toes, hand around the strap and foot. Extend, and then take the foot out to the side. Okay, so extend. If you have a wall nearby, you're gonna have to turn yourself onto the mat the other way, out to the side. Arm can come out to the side. Press down through the sole of your right foot. Re-level the hips. Think less about how aesthetically pleasing it might be to lift that left foot higher, and more about how we can level out the pelvis as well as having that leg elevated. Yeah, so you're holding onto the toe. Nice, everyone. You're holding onto the strap. Flex the foot that's in the air, engage it, especially if it's in a strap. It'd be really easy to use the strap to pull the foot rather than to actively engage it. Beautiful. Nice. You might look over the opposite shoulder. Back to center. Down. Same thing. Other side. Yeah. Bend the right knee. These fingers. Take a breath in. Extend. Find the wide position here. Might turn your head over opposite shoulder. I always like Ashtanga because it always reminds me of the poses that I don't put into practice regularly, as in my own, and also into our sequences that we do together. This is one of them. Bring it back in. Step it down. Nice. Top of mat, take your little journey, your pilgrimage there. Inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Exhale, fold, and as you fold, the intention here is to come back into Bakasana, crow pose, toes turn out, heels in. Come up onto the tips of your toes, plant your hands flat, knees into upper arms, look forwards, balance. You're not gonna hop back from here. So even if you have a hop back in your body, in your practice, that's not where we're going. I want you to land the feet eventually back together. Bring the knees together, or actually keep them slightly apart, but keep the feet together. Sit the bum down. Boat pose, Navasana. Reach the hands forwards, option toes to floor. Yeah, option toes off the floor. Now feet to the ground, bend the knees, hips to heels. Come and lay all the way on your back. Bridge, wheel, okay? Or any other supported type of back bend that you want to practice. So front body is going to be long, of course. And as you start to find your way into your back bend, whatever that may be, whatever you've chosen, if you're coming into bridge pose, you're going to lift the hips, snuggle your shoulders and your arms underneath you and lace the hands together. When the hands have laced together, push the knuckles towards the heels. Okay, so feel that lengthening happen through the back and the front of the body, and the shoulders are coming down away from ears as you do that, okay? So there's this action and there's space in the neck. If you're coming into wheel, turn onto the top of your head first. And I want us all to practice today, this morning, just being there, being in the pose. Whatever our version is. Practice being and breathing. When you've really reached the pinnacle of your time in the shape, come onto your back, be with the sensation for a moment. Can let the knees drop out to the side, to the left and right, soles of the feet together, or maybe even windscreen wiper the legs if that feels better. With time for an inversion. So here's the offer. Traditional finishing sequence for Ashtanga, which is 5 breaths in plow pose. If I remember rightly, it's somewhere between 15 and 25 breaths then in shoulder stand. And then back for ear pressure posture, we'll say another 5 breaths. I think it's actually 10, but we're going to say 5. The knees either side of the head. And then all the way down for Matsyasana fish pose. If you want to take that finishing sequence, you can. Otherwise, you're going to take 5 breaths in child's pose, 15 to 25 breaths in headstand. And back down, thread the needle child's pose, a few breaths on each arm. And then come to lay on your back, okay? So they're your options. Child's pose, headstand, thread the needle. Plow pose, shoulder stand, ear pressure posture, finishing in fish, okay? Neither one is better, worse, right, wrong, different. So make sure you hit your 5 breaths in child's pose first before your headstand. Yeah. Do it in the order you would do shoulder stand. So you're actually thinking about what you're about to do before you actually do it. You have time to kind of gather your thoughts, gather your strength, gather your attention. Yeah, because inversions, they're not easy at all, and they require quite a lot of our undiluted attention. Nice, everyone. Lovely, really nice. Think about length, strength, finding that place. Beautiful. Lovely. In both poses, you get to engage the legs loads in the sky. Engage in the legs. When you come back to child's pose, headstanders, just remember you've got that thread the needle child's pose to enjoy. About 3 breaths on one side, 3 breaths on the other. Really nice. So wherever you are, a few more breaths, a few more moments here. I'm just being in this space. And you get to lay on your back. Your arms and legs can come out wide. You get to make your way to Shavasana, to integration. However that looks. Laying on your back, arms and legs out wide. And as you lay here and you just pause, allowing your body to just integrate all of the teachings of this morning, everything that you have felt, seen, explored, uncovered. Yoga always brings us to a different place, heightens awareness of the spaces in our body that may need more attention, that may need less. Maybe today our mind was stretched beyond the self-belief capability of our bodies. As you take deeper and fuller breaths, just really noticing sensation in your body. Feeling of ease. Maybe challenge. Can you breathe slightly deeper into the belly now? And maybe the exhale comes out through the mouth, like a sigh of relief. Could continue that way a few rounds. Moving the fingers and the toes and lengthening the body, taking a full body stretch when you're ready. Hugging knees in towards chest when you're ready. Gentle rock and roll. Moving on to the left or the right hand side and slowly coming up to seated. When you arrive, keeping the eyes closed, bring the hands together in prayer. Can let the thumbs come to third eye. Together this morning, as we always do, we'll seal our practice with a bow of love, honor, and respect, remembering that we are all connected. We are one. Namaste. Thank you very much for coming along to practice, always showing up bright and early on a Thursday and every other day. So nice.